the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Saturday, November 9th, 2024. Aaron's Hour is coming to you from Virginia Beach and Las Vegas. That's because my good friend over there, Mr. John Styles, is holding down the fort, pushing the buttons. Mr. Styles, how are you today, sir? Can't hear you. Turn your mic on, Mr. Board Producer.
How about that?
There you go.
I said, I'm about to get another year older tomorrow.
Why is that? Tomorrow's not your birthday.
No, it's the Marine Corps birthday, 249 years old.
249, and you don't look a day over 20.
I know. It's all the drugs I took in the 60s, man.
It's coming back to actually help you. Well, happy birthday to the Marine Corps. John, if you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, he is a proud Marine. I miss the days of sitting in studio watching him and Chief, who was a Navy guy, go at it and have some fun conversation. But we want to thank John and Chief and everybody who was out there protecting our liberties in the past, present, future, and of course, the ones we don't always talk about are the family members that stay at home while their loved ones go out and protect our country. They're part of all of this as well for their sacrifice and having their significant other or other family members go out and protect our rights. And we say thank you to them, which Veterans Day, as you see, the little sign behind my head over here, right over here, is Monday, 11/11, which, by the way, also happens to be, yes, there you go. I love that piece. Whether at home or abroad, active duty, reserve, retired, all Americans say thank you. And it's unfortunate. We really should say thank you every day of the year. We shouldn't necessarily have to wait for one day. It's like, you know, you're saving up for that one day of like forgiveness, like we do for Yom Kippur, where you can sin 360 odd days a year and screw it, we'll just save it all up and ask for forgiveness on one day. But you know what? You see somebody in fatigues or someone you know that is military, former military or whatever, go up and say hi or go up and say thank you. Or if they're eating at a restaurant and they're wearing a hat that says retired, right, buy them a drink. Just thank them for crying out loud. Right,
yeah, but
John?
don't come up from behind.
Yeah, don't come from behind.
Don't startle us.
That's right. That's right. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I was in Orlando last week at this time, and I want to talk about that for just a few minutes, just so everybody knows. I was down there. I was a celebrity host, John. Celebrity.
Oh, wow.
In my own mind, I'm a celebrity. That's right. Same golf folks that I've done in the past, iLifestyles Global. This was the first annual Louis Burke Golf Classic down in the Orlando area. Alaqua Country Club was the name of the country club. Bottom line is the monies were raised for an organization called the Verb Kind. And in case you missed all of that, you can rerun last week's show. We pre-recorded that before Saturday on Thursday of last week after the pairings party before the event. But check this out, John. Tomorrow, Monday, they're going to get a check for 17,000 buckaroonies from that golf tournament.
From the golf tournament?
Yep.
Nice.
Golf tournament. The Verb Kind is an organization.
We should hold a golf tournament.
Exactly. For our own nonprofit organization called Empty Pockets, right? The Verb Kind, they actually go into juvenile detention centers and they mentor and they work with 12 to 17-year-old young people that are there, helping them get that second chance when they come out. And we met a young man. His name is Anthony. We actually talked about him on the show last week. Graduating high school this year, well-spoken, handled himself very well, talking to everybody last week. And great guy, great program. And who knows, there might be a Verb Kind coming to a theater near you in the years to come because it's a great program. So I came back from that. All is good. I come home. I was away for 5 days, John.
Wow.
I get home last Saturday about 6:30-ish p.m. Norfolk time. And 9 hours later at 3 a.m., I was back at the airport taking my wife to the airport, who was catching up with my daughter, Alyssa, to go to the Dominican Republic.
Cool.
If you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, my daughter, Alyssa, she is the A1 sound engineer, which means she's the head honcho for sound on Broadway for the revival of Cabaret. And this company in the Dominican Republic needed help in training and teaching their people how to do what my daughter does. So the company in New York said, yeah, you're good. Go ahead, take the week, go down. And so she calls my wife. This was about 3 weeks ago. She goes, hey, Mom, guess what? I got approved to go. You want to go with me? So I'm here in my studio office doing some work. I get a knock at my door. In comes my wife, and she tells me this, and she says, can I go? Like, hey, when have you ever asked me permission to do anything?
I was just going to say, she was just being polite, man.
Yeah, exactly.
She just wanted you to feel like,
like it was part of it.
That's a good wife. That
is
someone who knows how to
play your man. And I turned to her and I said, babe, what are you asking me for? It's your retirement. Go do what you want to do, So in the span of the last 14 days, I've spent probably a total of 9 hours with my wife under the same roof. And now, of course, we were unconscious asleep for 8 of those 9 hours. But today, though, she is on her way to Newark Airport. She came in from Santo Domingo last night. Her layover, she spent the night with my daughter, visited my sister. And later on today, my wife will be coming home for the first time in 2 weeks. We'll actually be able to say hello to each other.
You got a lot of work to do. Get that place cleaned up then.
You think I've gone to sleep? I've been busy since yesterday. And then on top of everything, I have company coming today through Tuesday morning. My stepfather-in-law, unfortunately, on Monday, he's 92. God bless him. He's having hip replacement surgery.
Oh, geez.
So one of his twin sons, the one from Jersey, hopefully they and Eileen will be on the same flight coming out of Newark. They're coming here to be with the dad. And
that ain't going to happen.
Well,
there's going to be at least an hour or two difference between the flights that they have to catch. So
here's the funny thing. Eileen is trying to get on standby. She's number one on the standby list for that same flight with them coming in. Right. Which if that happens, I don't have to go to the airport to pick them up because they're renting a car.
Oh, cool.
So I'm praying that they can go get here together. I don't want to go back to the airport. Anyway, so they're coming to spend time here at the place until Tuesday. So my wife comes home. And I get 2 more guests for the next 5 days. So,
cool.
But hopefully everything will go.
Is it raining?
It rained yesterday. We actually listen. Droughts are one thing. There's a difference in droughts between what you guys are going through and what we have out here. We actually had the first measurable rainfall yesterday at about 6 a.m. And I kid you not, it was for about 3 minutes, and it poured. And we are like about an inch below where we should be at this time of the month, in the month of November, for rain. But we are on the cusp of a severe drought out here.
Wow.
Imagine that. I'm 10 miles from the ocean, and I got a drought going on out there. But some rain is scheduled during the week. Cooler temperatures coming in, 60s. We're starting to get into that cooler trend now, not the up and down. We were 80s last week. We had a record high on, I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday, where it hit 81, which was a record for us out here during this time. But also, too, on Monday, November 11th, is also another anniversary. 38 years ago, come November 11th, is the day I proposed to my wife. Right? I did it on Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Well, it's 11/11, right? Isn't that? Don't they say when you see that on a clock, it's supposed to be the best time to make a wish?
Yes.
One of those wives' tales. So 11/11.
Yep. Or 222.
What's that?
Or 222.
Oh, really? I don't know about 222.
I made that up.
Okay, well, it sounded good. It's all right. You convinced me. And also it's the wedding anniversary of my in-laws. So a lot of stuff going on. What else? So what's been going on in your world for the week since I last seen you?
Nothing that I can talk about on camera.
Fair enough. You're still in the witness protection program then?
Yep. Yeah.
I figured. Okay. All right. So folks, I got a lot of just general topics to talk about for both Vegas and Virginia Beach area. I'm expecting Frank Bizzarro, founder of the Firefighter Memorial Transport, to join us somewhere in the show. We don't have a specific time. I just said, zap in when you can. Why? Because I love the guy. He's a great guy. We know his cause, firefightermemorialtransport.org. But he's also a veteran as well. And for those who don't remember or don't know, who've never heard of Frank Bizzarro, he was a front man for the Platters, not a tribute group, the original Platters, for 10 years. He has sung the national anthem probably all over the world, but certainly all over the country. He even sang the national anthem during the Mets and Yankees World Series back in the day. He's also involved in some of the Veterans Day activities, where he usually sings the Star Spangled Banner or does something at some of these celebrations for Veterans Day. So hoping he'll jump on, chat with us a little bit. And John, I'll ask you a little later on in the show, so I'll give you time to kind of talk about this. I guess this is turning into we're honoring veterans. What does Veterans Day mean for veterans? I want to get your take on that. What does it mean? Not now, but think about it. Right. I want to know what the feeling for you as a veteran is, and I know you're going to shoot straight, good or bad, and that's kind of why I don't want sugarcoat, but I want to just look. It's a very important time in our history, any war, any conflict, and the fact that again we have that our country has decided that we take just one day a year on the calendar. I guess we have Memorial Day, which would be the other one. Where
Memorial Day is to honor our dead, our fallen.
Yes.
Veterans Day is to honor all those who served.
Correct. But why we have we should be thanking every day. That's about. We see a police officer, we should be thanking them. A quick little story, and then we'll move on here today. Well, actually, we'll probably take a break before we start talking topics. But a couple of weeks ago, I sat down with a potential sponsor, Cupcake Bakery. And in walks the gentleman in his fatigues, a young guy, and he goes up to the counter and orders a little. So, I asked him, I said, sir, thank you for your service. He turned around. You're welcome. Thank you very much. We got to talking with him, works at the base out here. He said, he says, I'm on my way home. I've never been in here before. And my wife wants something. We have a young child at home. And I said, well, let me tell you something. And I've had cupcakes from this place. And we're sitting there. I said, sir, let me tell you, you can't go wrong with any choice. So I turned to the gal behind the counter and I said, do me a favor, whatever this gentleman wants, please just add it to my bill because I purchased some things to bring home. I said, please, it's on me. So whatever you want, it's on me as a thank you to you. And, I guess it's like when people talk to me about my Hall of Fame status, I'm humbled by that. And he was very humbled by the gesture of just cupcakes, right? So little things like that, folks, you see, just put it out there as a thank you. It doesn't hurt. And I feel good because I did something that probably most people don't always feel comfortable doing, right? I don't know. Just it was something that worked. And of course, I'm in a town with the naval base and everything where we see a lot of military personnel here. And those planes, man, those suckers that fly over, John, them's is noisy planes. Holy cow. They drown you out.
Don't you have the Blue Angels up there in Norfolk?
Yeah, not too. Yeah, I don't know if they're housed here, but I know they were here. But there's maneuvers here all the time, and we'll talk about some things that the USS Wisconsin downtown in Norfolk does every year as well. So with that, let's step aside for our first break. When we come back, by the way, please note, I want to welcome today's show is brought to you by Sweet Peas Baked Goods. They're coming on, the brand new sponsor, Pamela Richard. You can find them here in Vegas, but more importantly, Vegas, Virginia Beach. Go online, right? That's the place to be. SweetPeasBakehouse.com. And it's Peas, P-E-A-Z. Great stuff. As a matter of fact, when I'm done here, I'm going to go see Pamela and get my chocolate muffins, also cakes, cookies, and stuff. Novelty sports art. If you have those rivalries at home between sports fans, right now they're focusing on football. Great pieces of art, which you'll see here in the commercial. Check them out. NoveltySportsArt.com. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see him later on today, too, because I need to buy a new piece for the holidays. All right, with that, thank you for watching Iron's Hour. We are in full bloom. Hopefully somewhere after the break, Frank will join us. We'll have some fun. I got topics. And, of course, you give us a call, 702-992-3207, 702-992-3207. Phone lines are open. Whatever you want to talk about, we got it. We'll be right back.
Switching to a vegan dessert doesn't mean sacrificing flavor or texture. At Sweet Peas Bakehouse, our pastries are designed to be just as delightful as their traditional counterparts. Sweet Peas Bakehouse features rich flavors and satisfying textures that will please any palate. From decadent brownies to light and fluffy cakes, each bite is a celebration of natural sweetness, free from artificial additives. Indulgent treats that not only taste great, but also nourish the body by visiting www.sweetpeaswithaz.bakehouse.com. Experience the difference that nature-inspired baking can make at Sweet Peas Bakehouse. Call 804-214-7773 today and taste the goodness.
Hello, I'm Rick Upchurch, former Denver Bronco Ring of Famer. In life, there are rivalries, and then there are football rivalries. Broncos, Raiders, Packers, Vikings, Washington, Dallas. But what happens when those sports rivalries invade a household? You know the scenario. Grandma loves Ohio State, but Grandpa loves Michigan. Novelty Sports Art has the type of artwork that simply adds fuel to the fire. The drip helmets depicted those hated rivalries with a splash of humor and color. These original artwork prints can be hung in the man cave, she shed, or the centerpiece at the next family reunion. Visit www.noveltysportsart.com and order from our listed inventory. You can also call 804-505-5669 for ordering details. A great sports rivalry should be honored as a novelty.
Love it, love it, love it. Love those commercials. By the way, Sweet Peas, after the first of the year, they are working on being able to ship. So if you want to order anything from Sweet Peas, they'll ship it to you. So check that out after the first of the year. Okay, good stuff. All right, thank you, Rick Upchurch, by the way, for doing that. By the way, the owner, the guy that I set up with Sports Novelty, you should have seen his face when he lit up. We were talking football, and I brought up Rick's name, and he knew Rick. He watched him play football. His eyes lit up like he was a kid in a candy store, John. And I said to him, when we put this thing together for you, I said, how happy would you be? What would you think if maybe he didn't believe that I knew Rick, right?
Right.
So we're here in my studio office here at home. I said, wait, watch this. Beep, 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 boop, boop, beep, beep, boop, boop. Hello? Put it on speaker. I said, Rick, I have a favor to ask of you. I said, first of all, I have so-and-so here. Big fan. They said hello. I said, what do you think about maybe you could do the voiceover for this guy's? He said, absolutely. You should have seen my client's face when Rick agreed to do it. And he's a big Rick fan. Are you kidding me? So listen, John.
We take people like Rick for granted. I mean, we know Rick. We know what a just an awesome guy he is.
Absolutely.
He's just a great, down-to-earth, really cool person. And so a lot of people aren't used to seeing that kind of thing, you know.
No.
They're used to seeing the arrogant bastards who, you know.
That's right.
But,
That's right.
Yeah, and so that's cool. Rick has always been.
Absolutely. I've loved Rick. He, like you said, he's an ordinary person. He's just like you and I, and his resume.
With extraordinary abilities.
There you go. He's an ordinary, extraordinary man. And of course, I love Donna more so. That's his wife.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's get to some news. You know what time it is. This is going to be an elongated version of Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
With a nod to the past and an eye to the future, here is Aaron Phillips with Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
All right, very good. Let's get rocking and rolling with it. Let's hit it off. First, we're going to focus on some Vegas stuff. You know, I don't know what it is, but lately I've been having trouble getting news about winners in terms of jackpot winnings. But I did find one that happened the other day. A Texas man visiting the Rio takes home over $200,000. That's right. Officials with the Rio Hotel and Casino announced that a Texas man named James Winstead. What a great Texan name. Is that like you just see him in the Old West? Come here, James Winstead. You know, took home with a straight flush progressive jackpot playing Ultimate Texas Hold'em last Thursday. Luck was on his side when his hold cards of Jack and a Queen of Hearts lined up with the community cards of a 10, a King, and an Ace of Hearts to complete a royal flush. Even though any straight flush also wins the jackpot, $5 is all he bet on that. Went home winning $203. Not a bad investment. All right. Let's see. What else I want to talk about? Where to go? All right. Let's talk about honoring some of our... Do I want to do that one? No, let's do this one first. You know, you guys are getting ready for another big hotel over there, John. Remember where the old Wet and Wild used to be some 20 years ago?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, next to the Sahara, right over there, right? By the Fontainebleau. Renderings of the tallest Las Vegas Strip hotel emerge as approval steps finally near. This project, if approved, could start building sometime next year in 2025. So here's what the renderings show. Hotel structures dwarf an 18,000-seat arena that is key to the project because they're hoping to lure an NBA team to Las Vegas with this arena. Approval, though, from the Federal Aviation Administration would be needed for the proposed height of 752 feet, which is 17 feet taller than neighboring Fontainebleau, Las Vegas. And the Strat Tower is 1,149 feet. Now, here's what go ahead.
I was going to say, why can't they move it down a little further closer to Tropicana if we're going to have an NBA team there?
Yeah, we don't have enough going on in that corner, right?
Just screw up that whole area there on the strip, man.
I just don't understand why they're not going north a little bit between, there and the Speedway with all that land out there. But at least they didn't put it on the corner of Tropicana. Oh, my gosh. All right, so here's what the renderings have shown. This is from Steelman Partners. They're the architectural folks. 3 hotel and condo towers, the arena, a 6,000-seat theater, a 120,000 square foot convention area, and floor plans for hotel floors for the 3 towers, including hotel rooms, villas, a sky lounge, and full-time residences. Now, I find the convention floor,
Wait. So the building is going to contain permanent residents, like condos, apartments, or something like that? Okay.
Yep.
Not entertainer permanent residents.
Well, remember though, they have a 6,000-seat theater, so it's possible.
No, but I'm saying, I'm sure they have some resident, but I just wanted to clarify.
This is home residents.
Gotcha.
These are homely residents.
Gotcha.
But I find 120,000 square foot convention area, and you're literally across the street from the Las Vegas Convention Center. Not that this would ever take business away from there, and I'm sure if there's a convention that needs more space, a convention center, that they'll work with them right there.
Right. And that probably had something to do with it too.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't think though that space where Wet and Wild was had that much space for this much stuff, to be honest with you. Well, that's true. But still though, you still need the foundational structure for 3 towers, a theater, the convention center, right? And an arena. That's a lot of physical space before they even go up, right?
Well, and somebody's taking a hell of a gamble with that, because where's all the people going to come from?
That's true.
Right?
And this isn't the first time that this plot of land is being looked at for that.
Right.
There was an attempt last year, but it was voted down. Former UNLV basketball player Jackie Robinson was in the front of efforts to build an arena called the All Net Arena last year, but it was voted down because they could not secure financing. The project is called LVXP. I'm going to guess Las Vegas Expo Center or something along those lines. If it is approved, construction would start in early 2025 and finish sometime in 2029. This will all be considered for approval on November 12th. But here's the interesting thing. I thought this was kind of fun. The site has been vacant since Wet and Wild moved from the strip location some 20 years ago. And I remember, we used to go there when it was there. One note. Why am I hearing feedback?
I don't know.
All right. Well, it's not me for a change. The site has been vacant since Wet and Wild moved from the strip location. One note in the documents filed with the county hints at the site's interesting history. Are you ready for this? Currently, the site is vacant. It was previously the site Wet and Wild Water Park. It's our understanding that part of the structures for Wet and Wild are buried on site and will have to be excavated and removed.
Do you know what a job that is? I mean, seriously. Seriously. Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it? They have to dig up before they can dig down.
Well, and then you're going to have all the hazmat inspections to make sure that there's no diesel fuel, gasoline, any oil, any contaminants like that. So,
yep. Listen. They can bring up steel and girders and foundation. We all know what we want to know if it's going to come up from up there. Or are we going to find Are we going to find bodies, money, jewelry? That's really everybody really cares about, But hey, by the way, you guys have a car race starting in a couple of weeks, don't you?
Yeah.
When is that? What is the official? Is that next week or is it 2 weeks?
Is it next week or the week after? Hell, I don't know.
Okay, well, it's coming up. That's the important part. Do you remember last year, for the first year, there was talk of strikes by some of the culinary unions because of contracts, right?
Right.
So what did they do? They used the F1 races as leverage, more or less, to get that. Well, guess what? Year 2 of Formula One, Year 2 of another hospitality culinary union threatening a strike. Virgin Hotels, 700 hospitality workers will go on strike, planned starting November 15th. Now, could be the first strike since in 22 years since they last struck because of contract. Here's the interesting thing. The contract with the Virgin Las Vegas Hotel and their workers expired June 1st in 2023. Not even 24, 23. It's been a year and a half. Yeah. And here's what's interesting. The Ted Papageorge, no relation to Peter Papagiorgio, Secretary Treasurer of the Culinary Union, continues saying that in the negotiations, the company has proposed a $0 in wage increases for the first 3 years of a 5-year contract. Now, here's what's interesting. If they're proposing a 5-year contract in the first place, is the first year June 23 through June 24, right? Yep. Year 2, 24 through current, right? But they're proposing $0 increase for the first 3 years of this 5-year agreement that's on the table. The Culinary and Bartenders Union strike will impact all major areas of operations at the Virgin Las Vegas, including housekeeping, food, beverage departments, and the following unionized restaurants: Casa Calavera, Funny Library Coffee Shop, Juice Bar, the Bar at Commons Club, the Kitchen at Commons Club, and the Shag Room. So, 8 more years of Formula One racing. That means 8 more years of threatened culinary strikes probably coming down.
I had read something a few weeks back that Formula One was seriously talking about pulling out of Vegas.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know the details. I haven't had a chance to follow up on that.
Wow.
But so
I'll have to research that too. If you find something, please let me know, because I haven't seen anything of that. But that's it. Because for folks who don't recall, it was a 10-year commitment, and yes, it causes big upheaval around the Strip. Because think about this, folks. We're still I still say Vegas is still averaging about 40,000 visitors ish a year, right? So that's what 2, 3, 4 million people a month that come into town. Imagine the Strip corridor. When you go from Sahara all the way down to Tropicana is about 5 miles. That's the distance of the Strip approximately. Not counting all the parallel streets that run parallel to that, like Paradise Road and whatnot. Folks, they put in a 3.2 or 3.5 mile track by blocking off all these roads. And they're doing it now. That's not that they set it up a night before the race.
Yep.
They set this up months out with construction. And the biggest issue is Flamingo and Koval, where they build that little over road ramp. And I don't think, John, you might know this. You might have an update on this. But last year, or not too long ago, the businesses down in that area, led by Buca di Beppo, they had filed a class action lawsuit, right, for the amount of millions of dollars of lost revenue. I don't think that case has been settled yet. And here we are ready to go to Formula 2.
It's ongoing. So,
I mean, this is just going to keep compounding the problem. It wouldn't surprise me if they pull out. And I don't think the residents, the locals, would shed a tear over losing Formula 1.
Not at all. Because the benefits have not outweighed the negatives. And excuse me, it's and I think part of it is they're getting a lot of negative press, you know, and a lot of negative, and some of it's has not surfaced, but you know, I seriously don't know one person. That doesn't mean they don't exist, but I don't know one person that's looking forward to the Formula One coming back.
And just the upheaval, even for the workers that do have to get down to the Strip.
Exactly.
So last year it was a shit show. This year, supposedly, the hotels have better things in place to help commute their staff to get to and from whatever it is. But and George Miklos, if he's watching or listening, I'd love to. He can confirm this because he works security down there. The attendance for the race itself was not very good. Was way off. I mean, if you remember, prices for this thing was like $10,000, right? But then, like a week before the race, you can get a ticket for like $500.
Yeah,
you know, and so it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me if at some point we find that Formula One is no longer coming to Las Vegas. All right,
wouldn't break my heart.
What's that?
would not break my heart.
No, I don't. Listen, you've got the A's coming. You've got now the talk of this other arena. There's always talk of the NBA coming. We've already got. I mean, the Super Bowl, WrestleMania.
You know what? That honest to God surprises the hell out of me that an NBA team wasn't the first sports team that we got here.
Well, but I'll tell you why.
It always surprised me. I always expected that to be the first because of the Running Rebels.
Well, here's the thing with basketball. Remember, the Maloof brothers owned the Palms. And
Right.
at the time, they owned an NBA team, and the commissioner at the time did not want an NBA team here because of the Maloof Brothers Association for the gambling and all that
Right.
concern.
Right.
I honestly thought baseball was going to be the first major league sport to be there, right?
Right.
Go figure. A winter sport, hockey, was going to be the first major, and I'm not talking the Wranglers, I'm not talking the ECHL, so we started off with the Knights, then now we have the Raiders, now the A's are coming, so the basketball is the only major sport that's left of the major four. I always thought it was going to be baseball, personally. That's just that's just my thing, but we don't really need the Formula One.
And whoever's idea it was to bring the Golden Knights here or to, create the team was brilliant. I mean, how that person or group of people must have felt that first year and taking the Stanley Cup. And,
Hell yeah.
That had to be something. So
there was one down, and we've talked about this over the years, but there was one downside locally for that immediate success. And that is the second year, prices got jacked up.
Yep.
More corporate boxes, I mean, my wife and I, we saw a handful of games over the years, but I got to tell you, we didn't pay for one time to go in because a parent at my wife's school had tickets as part of his business that he would give his vendors. And when there were tickets he couldn't use, he included his parking pass and everything. That's the one downside after such a successful launch in year one.
Right.
Year two, it became a corporate event and it really pushed everybody out. All right. Hey, good job and a pat on the back. Wounded Warriors received special Veterans Day weekend in Las Vegas. A plane carrying 60 Wounded Warriors landed in Las Vegas for all expense paid weekend, courtesy of MGM Resorts and American Airlines. Now, this is an annual event which celebrates U.S. service members and their families. Saw the military members arriving on a chartered American Airlines flight yesterday at about 2 p.m. Pacific time. These are veterans who are receiving treatment at Walter Reed Hospital and Alexander Augusta Medical Center, and they will be special guests being put up at Mandalay Bay. All expenses paid for these folks except for one thing, and that's the gambling money. So they don't have to foot the bill for anything other than whatever they choose to do to help the economy locally. So great job by those folks, MGM, Mandalay Bay, and again, small gestures. Hey, here's some other things going on in the Vegas area. When I'm done with this, we'll take our second break. We'll come back and focus on some things happening here on the East Coast. Still waiting for Frank to jump on. I've messaged him, so he's probably just tied up right now. But so here's some other things locally. Of course, the Veterans Day Parade there in Las Vegas starts at 10 a.m., starting from 4th Street and Garces Avenue, and will proceed north on 4th Street, culminating at Stewart Avenue. So if you do plan on going, what's the weather supposed to be there on Monday? Do you know, John?
Cold.
All righty then.
It's 49 degrees here right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Did somebody forget to pay the electric bill or the gas
Probably.
bill?
Yeah, the gas bill they didn't pay. So, I'm sorry, I lied. It's 52 degrees.
I just pulled it up on my phone too. So Monday, though, you expected a high of 74, which means it'll probably be in the 60s by the time the parade starts. So
yeah, that's pretty damn cold. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. So dress warmly and peel from there. Henderson Veterans Day ceremony. They will also have something going on down there. The city of Henderson pays tribute to its patriotic military heroes. That's actually later on today, 10 a.m. local time there on the Pacific Coast, Water Street Plaza Amphitheater. The ceremony will include presentation of names newly engraved on the Veterans Memorial Wall, presentation of colors, and performed by the Henderson Symphony Orchestra. There's North Las Vegas Resource Fair. That, never mind, that happened yesterday, but I'm sure they still have good info. You have free rides from the RTC happening on Monday. All you have to do is just simply show your veteran's ID card or whatever to prove your veteran status. Free rides there. Applebee's will be honoring all veterans and active duty military with a free meal. Additionally, through their Buy a Vet a Beer promotion, guests can purchase a prepaid pint of beer for a veteran accompanied by a special message from the purchaser. That, however, is only good tomorrow on Monday, the 11th. Duck Donuts. When I read that, I had to read it quickly because I thought it was Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. Duck Donuts is honoring those who served on the 11th with the free medium hot coffee or cold brew with a valid military ID. Flanker Kitchen and Sports Bar, Sicky's Garage, Scooters Coffee, UFC Gym, and UFC Fit are honoring 30-day trial periods for military if you want to try and work out. To redeem the offer, you must register between November 1st, which obviously passed, and Saturday, November 30th. Fight Club is also having specials. Grimaldi's Pizzeria, the South Point Hotel has stuff going on, and the Museum of Illusions. So for all of those things, just make sure you have your ID with you, proving your military status. Yes, sir.
And Tommy's Car Wash on Ann Road, just off Decatur, is offering free car washes for veterans on November 11th.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Thank you for adding that as well. So and the last thing I want to talk about, Las Vegas activities. It's never Las Vegas activities, Christmas activities in Las Vegas. Listen, it's almost that time of year, chilly weather, hot chocolate, gift wrap, and family meals. With Christmas just some 40 some odd days away, though, the Valley has a list full of fun activities. A lot of these activities we already know, so I'm just going to give you the names of them. Also, keep in mind, the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah this year starts very late by traditional standards on the American calendar. Hanukkah starts, I actually believe it was either the 24th or 25th of December. And for the first time in my lifetime that I can actively recall, goes into January. So I can't recall Hanukkah. It's 8 days rolling into the new year, but that's when that's happening. So just keep that in mind. So you have Enchant Christmas. That is through the at the ballpark, the Las Vegas ballpark there in Summerlin. You can drive through. $25 entrance fee. That's November 22nd through the 29th. Glittering Lights up at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, November 8th through January 5th. Mystic Falls Park. That's, of course, the main atrium in the middle there of Sam's Town. November 7th through January 1st. You can check that out. And Barry Manilow is going to have a series of shows going on. A very Berry Christmas at Westgate, Las Vegas. He'll be performing from December 5th through December 7th, and the following weekend, December 12th through 14th. Tickets start at $55. So a lot of stuff going on there. We're going to step aside for our second break. We want to thank Sweet Peas Bakehouse and Novelty Sports Art for carrying and sponsoring today's show. We come back. It's time to talk about some Virginia Beach area activities for Veterans Day. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Rick Upchurch, former Denver Bronco Ring of Famer. In life, there are rivalries, and then there are football rivalries. Broncos, Raiders, Packers, Vikings, Washington, Dallas. But what happens when those sports rivalries invade a household? You know the scenario. Grandma loves Ohio State, but Grandpa loves Michigan. Novelty Sports Art has the type of artwork that simply adds fuel to the fire. The drip helmets depicted those hated rivalries with a splash of humor and color. These original artwork prints can be hung in the man cave, she shed, or the centerpiece at the next family reunion. Visit www.noveltysportsart.com and order from our listed inventory. You can also call 804-505-5669 for ordering details. A great sports rivalry should be honored as a novelty.
Switching to a vegan dessert doesn't mean sacrificing flavor or texture. At Sweet Peas Bakehouse, our pastries are designed to be just as delightful as their traditional counterparts. Sweet Peas Bakehouse features rich flavors and satisfying textures that will please any palate. From decadent brownies to light and fluffy cakes, each bite is a celebration of natural sweetness free from artificial additives. Indulgent treats that not only taste great, but also nourish the body by visiting www.sweetpeaswithazbakehouse.com. Experience the difference that nature-inspired baking can make at Sweet Peas Bakehouse. Call 804-214-7773 today and taste the goodness.
All right, welcome back. Aaron Zauer with Aaron Phillips, coast to coast, with my man John hanging out with me today. Looks like Frank's a little tied up today, so unfortunately, maybe we'll reschedule him for another show to come on.
Does he need bail money or what?
Yeah, listen, knowing his background, if he needs bail money, man, that really is a problem, isn't it? Let me slide over. Let me just slide over here. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about some stuff going on here in Virginia Beach.
What's going on in Virginia Beach?
Well, let me tell you what's going on with Virginia Beach. We've got a lot going on besides being in a drought here. Actually, I have a lot of Veterans Day stuff, but I want to hold off on that until I make sure I cover. Let's do this one first. All right. So celebrate the Holidays, HOLI-RAYS, at the Virginia Aquarium for 2 nights in December. That's right, the Holidays. Sounds like something Elmer Fudd would say.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
I don't know. Let's see. The Virginia Aquarium and Marine Science Center is decking the halls and exhibits, transforming into a winter wonderland with twinkling lights, doorway singers, and holiday cheer. Jingle all the way to Holidays on December 13th and 14th from 6 to 9 p.m. It's presented by the PRA Group. And so what they're suggesting that you do is you want to come down, join the festive fun dressed in your best holiday garb, or here's the part that I like, your best festive pajamas. I don't think they make the ones with the back seat that you can open up anymore, John, so you can't go. Along with the usual aquarium residents, including sharks, sea turtles, harbor seals, guests can also meet Santa and Mrs. Claus, who'll be visiting from the North Pole. There'll be activities, unique demonstrations. Tickets are $32.95 for adults, $27.95 for youth, free for 4 years old and under. Aquarium members can purchase tickets, already have had the ability to purchase tickets. Just go to virginiaaquarium.com for ticket information. So that's December 13th and 14th, which is pretty good. Now, I actually, the next thing I'm going to share, I shared this story when I saw it come across, John, with Chief, because I thought it was quite interesting. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, Norfolk, the Navy Yards is here. And it's kind of cool when you drive down that way and you look over into the water canal, for the sake of better description from a layman to try to describe what you would call it, to see the boats in there being worked on and maintained and stuff like that. But are you aware of the fact that Secretary of the Navy Carlos Del Toro announced that 12 Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyers have been certified to stay in the fleet beyond their 35-year expected lifespan? The Secretary also announced that 3 cruisers will remain active also beyond their expected life as part of the Navy effort to boost the number of ships. Did you know that?
No.
Okay.
I do now, though.
You do now. That's why people watch the show. We educate them. Extending the life of the 15 ships will result in an additional 58 years of cumulative ship service life by 2035. Now, why is this happening? Well, the decision... The decision comes as the Navy presses the ambitious goal of increasing the fleet to 381 ships. We currently have 296 active ships. But the reason that they're behind in all of this is because, compounding the problem, the shipping industry, including the Huntington Ingalls industry here in Newport News, Virginia, has remained chronically behind schedule in producing new ships for the fleet over the last 10 years. Supply chain issues after the pandemic and shortage of experienced shipbuilders have compounded the problem, according to the recent report by the Congressional Research Service. In 2016, the Navy set the goal of having 355 ship fleet, though the total number of ships has hovered around 300 since the plan was released. However, last year, the Navy increased the target to 381 ships as part of a new 30-year plan. And the idea has been to counter China, which by some measures now has a larger fleet than the U.S. Navy. So you can let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen, for a few minutes. We'll just leave it at that. So, all right. Some good news, though, some interesting news. Local group here out of Virginia, they run a relay to help the homeless and raise awareness. Now, that sounds not unusual, right? I know in Vegas there used to be runs like that, 5Ks, raise money and awareness, right? But Would you run with the group that's running from Virginia to New York City?
Not me.
Not me either. A 300-plus mile trip to New York City, and it's all on foot. The local group is running a relay from Virginia Beach to the Big Apple.
Wait, it's a relay.
Well, but they're still on foot.
No, I understand that. But a relay, it's okay. So you're going to run the first mile. This guy will run the second mile. This guy will run the third mile. It's not like one person or one group of people running all the way.
Right, not continuously. Okay. That's correct.
All right, so yeah, that's not so bad.
Would you be able to do it at 35 miles a clip?
How long do I have to get that 35 miles?
It depends on how they plan it out there. I don't know. So a local group is running a relay with the hopes of raising awareness and help for the homeless. This is the 9th annual run that will reach the World Trade Center to raise awareness for the homeless, to exercise and get a nutritionist program to build confidence. Quote, "We're going to be in Delaware in the middle of the night," when they started out this week, said Jim White. He's the founder of Lift Fitness Foundation and owner of Fitness Nutrition Studios. 12 runners, 8 drivers, 2 RVs, and 2 lead cars, each 35 miles apart, are all part of the trip. So to answer your question, what they do is this. We hit that 35 miles and then we drive in front of them. And then at the next 35 miles, they leapfrog and they switch. So it's a 35-mile rotation before they get up there, until they get up to New York. So they're taking a bunch of shoes and sneakers ranging from size 7 to 13 for sizes for men and women. They're also connecting with some other cities. They've run in the past to DC for 8 years. They're running to New York last year. They ran last year and now this year. And next year, they're planning on running to Philadelphia. Why these cities? Because historically, they are some of the biggest cities with the biggest issues of homeless population. Their mission is not only to deliver the supplies, but to also help them change their life a little bit better by providing them some self-esteem, good footwear, and some other resources as well. All right. Let's see what else is going on. So here we go. Now let's talk about some activities for Veterans Day. Of course, Las Vegas, you have your parades. Okay. Virginia Beach, this Monday, November 11th, down at Virginia Beach Oceanfront, which from where I currently sit is about 10 miles that way, east of where I am. Literally takes about 10 minutes to get there. So the Veterans Day Parade is, let's see. Okay. The parade will begin at 9 a.m. local time. The parade route will start from the Virginia Beach Oceanfront on Atlantic Avenue and proceed up to 17th Street. They're going to make a right turn onto Baltic Avenue and then a left turn onto 19th Street past the Tidewater Veterans Memorial, which is across from the Virginia Beach Convention Center, ending at the Doubletree Hotel. Now, that is Monday starting at 9 o'clock, and as tradition with most parades, you probably want to get there early to get a spot on the curb. Here, the weather is expected to be for high as 75, but with a 47% chance of rain. So you might want to take your rain gear with you for Monday. So we're going to have some, but that is the Veterans Day Parade scheduled here for Virginia Beach. What else are we doing for Virginia Beach? Now, these are some unique ways to have some activities, shall we say, during the Veterans Day celebration. Veterans Day weekend pickleball tournament. What a better way to say thank you to our veterans and participate in the pickleball tournament. So you've got that available. Let's see. Funds raised from the event go towards creating pickleball programs for active and retired military members, as well as the Veterans Charity, the Wounded Warriors Project. You can go to VA Pickleball. That's the website to sign up and register. So that's happening this weekend as we speak, which means you still have the rest of today and tomorrow to go out and either support or participate. Now, along the lines of that run, and I knew this was happening because people from my CrossFit gym are currently taking part or have taken part in this already, but this is called the Chad 1000X event. The Chad 1000X from Virginia Beach is a workout style event honoring late Navy SEAL and veteran Chad Wilkinson, who passed away by suicide October 29th in 2018. Presented by GoRock, CrossFit, Rogue, and Sarah Wilkinson, the wife of Wilkinson, this adrenaline-pumping event aims to raise funds and awareness for veteran mental health, which, by the way, shout out to our good friend Melissa Atwell there at Mental Health Moment. If you need resources, check her out, mentalhealthmoment.org. Awareness for veteran mental health initiatives focusing on suicide prevention, having raised $122,000 last year. Here you go. Here's your choice. Here's the workout. Are you ready? Participants can choose to complete 1,000 step-ups individually. And if folks don't know
all at once,
well, one step 1,000 times.
yeah.
So for those who may not know what a step up is, think of a step in your house, or in the case of CrossFit, we use boxes that have different height variations, and you're just stepping up and stepping down, stepping up and stepping down. So you can do it with a partner. So let's say you take 10, I'll take 10. You take 10, I'll take 10. Or it's a team with or without a weighted vest. So if you want to even add a little more endurance, put a weighted vest on of 20 or 30 pounds while you're going up and down. Now, the only thing it doesn't say here is what the height of the box is, and that's surprising it's not in here. But if you're doing 20 or 24-inch high box steps, trust me when I tell you, folks, 10 will get to you. Then add some weight to it, it'll even get. But anyway, so that's happening. So kudos to them, because I saw some videos from some of my folks at Dropbox CrossFit. We're out there this morning. I had the smallest inclination to maybe do it, but I had this little thing called a show that I had to do coincidentally.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sorry, I can't do it. So, all right. So, but congratulations to them for raising awareness for suicide prevention. Red, white, and blue ball. That's the Iron Valley Real Estate Annual Veterans Day event. That's tonight, actually, from 5 to 9 p.m. It's like the Chad 1000 Virginia, but the goal is for this to raise money to support veteran suicide prevention and mental health initiatives. Doesn't say, I guess it's another physical workout similar to what the Chad is. So you've got that. Tidewater Veterans Day Parade. If you're down in the Tidewater part of the area, that's down closer to the Norfolk area. The most beloved Veterans Day event in Virginia Beach, the Tidewater Veterans Day Parade, is filled with classic cars and marching bands, the American flag bearers, and military marching bands. The winding route starts at the Virginia Beach oceanfront on Atlantic Avenue, before meandering onto 17th Street, Baltic, and I guess that's the same thing. They just called it differently here. So scratch that, Your Honor. We've already talked about that. But we also have the Military Aviation Museum, the Virginia Beach Surf and Rescue Museum, Naval Aviation Monument Park, and the Norwegian Lady Statue, Navy SEAL Monument, Veterans. I mean, listen, folks, there is so much out there that we can do to support. Take advantage of it. Last thing I'm going to share, and then I'm going to turn it back to John, because I do want him to share his thoughts on what I asked him about early at the top of the show. Just like Vegas has its lights up at the Speedway and the Las Vegas Ballpark, well, for I believe it's the 30th year that the Norfolk Botanical Gardens, courtesy of Dominion Energy, will be offering its magical experience like no others for this year's Dominion Energy Garden of Lights. Visitors will again be able to walk through the garden, which has more than 1.5 million twinkling lights throughout the garden. I've been through there. It really is an awesome setup. There will be illuminating, color-changing trees, innovative technology, the sparkling conifer garden, and the garden's historical NATO tower drenched in lights. The holiday event will take place, has already started just yesterday, November 8th through January 5th at 5 p.m. All ticket proceeds will help the NBG, the Norfolk Botanical Garden, fulfill their mission as a nonprofit organization. You can get tickets by going to norfolkbotanicalgarden.org/Dominion-Energy-Garden-Lights. Bottom line, just go to norfolkbotanicalgarden.org, and I'm sure they have plenty of links there for tickets. So that's a lot of stuff going on out our veterans and news around that's worthy, both in Vegas and here on the East Coast. But we only have a few minutes left. And again, I'm sorry that Frank was unable to join us today as we had planned, but that's okay. We managed to get through the hour. So I do want to go back to the question I posed at you at the beginning, John, and we have a couple of minutes. Veterans Day was designed to honor those who served, right?
Yes.
As a veteran and as someone who served and served at a time when this country really didn't want to recognize that time of war as police action versus war. John was part of the Vietnam War and all of that. Give me your thoughts on Veterans Day as a way to honor veterans. Yay, nay, not no. Is it? I know it's not enough, but give me your thoughts on Veterans Day to salute all of our veterans.
Well, this year
I did not mean to touch a nerve, my friend. I apologize. In a way, John. Go ahead.
I only have one thing to say.
Okay.
Veterans are not suckers and they're not losers. And the next time I hear that, there's going to be some shit happening. Sorry, but that's it.
Okay. That's okay. I asked you to. I know you well enough that I know I was going to get the real, and that's what I wanted. And that kind of echoes what I talked about earlier. You know, all military don't get the recognition that they should for putting their lives on the line every day, and you know they pay the ultimate sacrifice at times. And I don't care what war, police action, whatever you want to call it, to not recognize and say thank you, and to belittle anybody that carried the stars and stripes on their helmet or on their shoulder to protect all of us. Shame on them. So for me personally, it's an honor for me to buy a beer for somebody. It's an honor for me to buy a cupcake for a gentleman to take home to his family. It's an honor for me just to see somebody and say thank you for your service, because A, not only does it make me feel good to recognize, but folks, you should see the face light up with the person that you're saying thank you to for the fact that they're being appreciated, which, by the way, we should be saying thank you to ourselves, to other people, regardless of what they do in this world, and show appreciation for what we do. So that notwithstanding, make sure you take the time to honor veterans, first responders, teachers, the guy on the street who's looking for a job. Just say hello, whatever it is. And I say this because I don't talk about politics or religion on my shows. I want to entertain. And I've tried to, well, I've been successful, not really saying a whole lot after the big event that happened this past week, because I know it's a shitstorm for a lot of people. All I know is this: after the election night, everybody has seemed like to be in a fog, concerned of what's going to be in the future. And I'm not asking for retorts or anything like that. I'm trying to keep this as general as possible. Okay. Regardless, folks, we're all in a funk right now, and we need to make sure that we support each other on a local level. We need to make sure that if there's somebody next to you who needs help, help them. It doesn't matter what their political party is. It doesn't matter what their skin color is, what they believe or not believe. They are still a human being like you and I. Support them, because then all this other stuff may fall into place better. It's like I always say at the end of every show: be kind to everybody. Why? We are all we have. By the way, if you go to Aaron's Hour or aaronshour.vegas, you'll see, if you go to the sponsors tab on there, links, direct links to Sweet Peas Bakehouse. You can order stuff. You can see her stuff. You can also, you'll see the link on there for sports novelty or novelty sports art. Click on the link, takes you right to his website. Also, too, if you go to the affiliates page, you'll see the Voice logo right there. Why? Yours truly has opened up a merchandise store for embroidered shirts or hats or beanies or coffee mugs or backpacks or jackets or lions and tigers and bears, oh my, with each and every logo that I am associated with, everything from Aaron's Hour to Kiwanis Connects to Thoughts Count Anywhere to the Round Table. You'll even find the logo of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting. So if you want to carry the logo on there, I've got it there. So you
nice
can go.
Church, by the way.
Yes, and folks, those are the collared shirts I wear. They come from a company called Queensboro. It is direct ship. Just go on and order it. Right now, there's a special. You can get 35% off any order, whether it's one shirt or 100 shirts, and only pay one shipping fee of $5.99. Simply go to aaronshour.vegas, click on the affiliates tab, and you'll see the Voice logo. Click on it. It'll take you right to the shop, and we would appreciate your support always. By the way, I'm going to say this: any shirt you purchase with the WWDB-TV logo on it, that is 100% proceeds going back to the studio to John. So let's support the studio as well. So listen, I'll keep the ones that have all my logos on it.
So wait. So if I buy one, do I get my money back?
Yeah, I'll send it back to you. That's fine. I'll send it back to you. Actually, you know what? It's a good way for you.
Wait. Why don't we just eliminate the middleman and send me a shirt?
Well, because either I have to order it. No, I know what you mean. I know, because I don't know what you want. There's shirts, there's sweatshirts, there's jackets. You can even get collared shirts. Listen, I rarely see you in golf shirts. You're always wearing the collared shirts, and you can get those shirts on there.
Yeah.
Nice denim
It's
shirts.
my
And all that.
military background. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you can get collared shirts up there with your logo on it. Anyway,
No, like I say, there's some nice stuff on there.
yeah, I love
I was
Queensboro.
surprised. Thank you for recognizing the station. I appreciate
Oh, of
it.
course. Are you kidding? Without the station, where would I be? I'd be talking to myself, doing nothing.
Yeah.
And these jerseys, they come from another company, and I'm trying to find out if there's a way that they have an affiliate program. Anyway, with that, I'm over time. Folks, next week's show, I'm going to have Pamela Richard, owner of Sweet Peas Bakehouse, on the show. We're going to learn about her, also a veteran. I love supporting veteran businesses, my friends. You should as well. Thank you for watching, everybody. Again, be kind to everybody, and to all you veterans out there, for what you've done for this country. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.